Hello everyone. I am Srijan Sengupta of class 10 learning from som-itsolutions, which is an institute which has helped me for learning some design patterns which we implement in object oriented programming. So today I am going to discuss about one of the most important design pattern, the observer pattern. This observer pattern is a pattern in which a centralized data is kept, and that data is looked after by some observers. This data might change. When these data change, that time the observers also change their data or their state. For that, we have some observers and one subject. The subject is the centralized data, and observers are the people or the class objects which observe that data. So first we will create a project named the observer pattern. Then we will create the main class. Which will contain a main method. This main class is the boss class, which will be adding and removing observers and also modifying the data in that centralized object. So we will have two interfaces, one subject and another observer. And the another observer. Now the subject will contain some methods. First, we will have to add observer, which will be the observers, those who will be getting the notifications as per the change of the data. Then another method which will be deleting observers. So we will name it void remove observers. Another will be notifying all the observers when the data will be changed. And another will be returning its state or the data. Now we will put the observer class. We'll put the methods in the observer class. It will contain a method void update. This method will be called when the state of the subject will be changed. Now we will create a concrete class from the subject by implementing subject. So I name it my observer. And another concrete class named my subject. This will be implementing the subject interface. Now in the subject class we will have a list of observers. Now we will have a private data. This data will be looked after by my observers. So let's give it some initial data. Now here in this add observer,
should you use a data setter for the data? Data setter for the data?
Yes, we will use a data setter for the data.
Yeah. Very good.
This get data will be returning data. Now in this add observer, we will be adding observer in our list. And in this method, we will be removing observers.
Perfect.
In this method, we will have to notify all the observers by calling the method update. So we will have a for loop. And one by one, we will call the update method of the observer.
Very good. Very good.
Now we will move to the my observer class. Here we'll have a reference of my subject, and one constructor which will be initializing this subject.
Very good.
When this update method will be called, that time we have to update our data. So here we will have one private data. Sorry, we also have to make this subject private.
Data setter. Very good.
Now here when this update will be called, we have to update, means we have to get the state of the subject. So from this subject,
Very good.
this is how we will do my observer.
Yes.
Now we have to construct the main class. This is the boss class which will be controlling everything. So first of all we have to make a subject.
Right.
Now we will be making two observers which will be looking after this subject. And we have to pass this subject to their constructor.
Yes. Observer one.
Sorry.
Very good.
Now first of all we will be checking which subject, sorry, we have to change the subject now.
I think we'll have to make it my subject, right?
Yes,
Because
surely.
yeah, data part, yeah, my subject. Yes, now I got it.
And then we have to notify all the observers who all are seeing this data. Now we have to also check that have the observers changed the data or not.
Right. Very good.
And same we also have to check for the second observer. Now again if we change this data, then again we have to notify and say that notify all the observers. Then these observers will be changing their data and state as per
One,
their subject.
just one thing, you have, I think, forgotten to add the observer and observer one to subject. Add observer, right? You have to
Oh,
add these two
sorry.
observer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry, don't worry. It happens. Don't worry. So you'll have to add these after this. You'll have to add these two observers. Yes. Very good. Now it will work perfectly. Fantastic. Run it. Let's see.
Thank you.
Let's see. Run it. So observer data is manual, right? So the moment of subject data is changed, it is notifying the observers, and the observer is basically updating of all the observers are updating the state with the subject's internal states, right? That's what is
Yes,
observer pattern, right? Somebody, so say for example, a practical example is, suppose there is some central data, okay, and people are viewing it maybe in Excel set, maybe in other graphical forms and all sorts of views, right? Now if the data is changed, then all the people who are watching this data, maybe from in an Excel form or maybe in other graphical form, all of them have to be notified so that their view state should be updated with the current state of the subject. This is the practical implementation of observer pattern, and this is a very one of the most important design patterns in the UAD framework. And so you guys, you know, you guys still are very young, just 15, 16 years age, and it's maybe 14, 15 years of age, and maybe you are in class 10. So this is very a great, achievement for you guys. Okay, kudos, and best of luck, all the best, and carry on this way and do something
thank
for
you.
the nation. Okay, so we are stopping it here, and thank you Srijan for your hard work and study. Let me stop it here,
Thank you,
stop the
sir.
recording here. Okay, all right.